Good morning and welcome to ARLTV. We are coming to you today live from, where are we, Woody? We're at Canada, aren't we, indeed? Montreal. And this is the endurance race, the V8 SuperCar series. I'm very sorry.
We are indeed.
We're a little bit sort of shell-shocked at the moment. A few technical glitches catching us out here, there and everywhere, and just trying to get up to speed. The guys are finishing qualifying, so we'll get you pictures as soon as we can possibly get them. Won't be a moment. We've both drove here actually in the last couple of weeks. Andrew, great circuit.
Yeah.
Very, very challenging in the single seaters that we were driving that day. But what are we expecting these V8s to be like around this very high speed circuit? Massive curbs. It's going to be fun.
Indeed it will. Good morning everybody. We've got an endurance race this morning for you. 1 hour and 45 minutes. These guys have got to do 55 punishing laps, which is not really built for well, long races in endurance. These guys will have to concentrate. They're going to be keep got to look at those in the traction zones. There's a lot of high and medium speed into here. It's going to be fun. I reckon we're going to see a few wall as well. I mean, you know, Ted, people in the Wall of Champions you guessed last week.
Yeah, I mean, we're just, sorry mate, we just seem to be losing you a little bit stuttery there, but...
Well, that's good, because I was talking nonsense, so that's all, that's good.
The guys are just slowly forming up on the grid. I wonder if you could take us through the grid if you don't
I'm getting so much lag, I don't think it's going to be practical. Hold on.
Oh, no, I've got it up, it's fine. Lead A takes the pole position for the second week run-in, Sanjin second. We... I've seen him in previous races, very, very quick. David Martinez in third, obviously had that little incident last week. Dale Nash, last week's victor, in fourth. Corey Preston in fifth. Nathan in sixth. Tobias down in seventh again. Philip Johansson in eighth. Trevor Johnson, unusual to see him in ninth. And Jason Black in 10th. I'm just going to skip through because the guys are forming up. And we have not got a great deal of time left. Should be a fantastic race today, Andrew. I'm so looking forward to this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a brilliant one. I'm having a lot of trouble though here with lag and things like that.
Well, hopefully you'll get hopefully you'll get back up and running very, very soon. Just I guess you're just getting the rest of those little paint schemes down.
Well, none of them are coming up. No, barely any of them are actually. Ah, there we go. I think we'll see the grid now. It's still going on, but going red. So
yeah, we can hear you still downloading them. Hence the delay. 32.
Bashing away at the buttons trying to get it to go faster, but big test for these guys today. As the revs build here at Montreal, we're ready for the start. Green light is on. Charge down towards turn one. We're going to see a clean start here. You would hope so. That's Delalic going up the inside of the day. He takes the lead through turn 1 and 2.
Yeah, there's a little bit of argy-bargy further back as well, just as the guys all check up for turn 2. And that's Trevor Johnson. It looks like he's made a few places a bit further back in that pink LMS car.
Yep, looks like everybody has survived the opening corners. That's what we need to do in the endurance race. We need to make it to turns 1 and 2. But Alex, it was okay in the...
Yeah, very, very long race today, so no reason to go rushing out. There'll be quite a few diverse strategies. You saw Nishi there just getting a bit wide. He's going to have to go over the grass. That'll be a slowdown penalty for him. Going to cost him a lot of time and places in this early lap.
Yes, so it's a Delalic lead.
Also looks like... Sorry, Woody, there. Yeah, also looks like Trevor Johnson got a slowdown as well. People are streaming past him further in the back as well. So a few guys caught out in the early laps. The car's a bit heavy, just not wanting to turn in like they were just a few moments ago in qualifying.
David Martinez for Lenovo in third. Well, he was not anymore.
You see the guys clumping over that curb, a few of them playing nice with the wall of champions. These V8 should be able to kiss that without too much of trouble, I think, today.
Hit the curbs hard and you're bouncing through the air, your wheels are making contact with the ground and you're just not turning and you end up sliding into the wall. Corey Preston in fourth. No. Got Churn in. It is now right up. Second is Johansson. Where's next over there?
Yeah, Tobias got a great
Jason
start, and
Black is in
Johansson
ninth.
was a good start as well.
Yep. Yeah, Jason Black 9th, well, started 10th. And Dale trying to make his way past Jason Black.
You've got Kirsty Black, 23rd at the moment, coming under a little bit of pressure.
And that's is that a slowdown for Journey? Is that to let Dale Nish through? So Journey drops down.
Yeah, all the way down to
I
9th.
think Nish has got one as well, another one. So he will drop behind Eremenko. Well, that's not Eremenko, is it? That's Chris Behan in the second yellow and blue race on Oscar.
Yeah, a few guys again taken to that runoff area. So, well, I say runoff area, it's grass. But yeah, very, very tricky circuit. Makes a difference when you can't cut the corners, Woody.
You do not want it. Oh, and that's Johansson getting very close to the wall. I mean, that is the ideal line, getting as close as you can. But still, you do not want to be scraping that early on and giving yourself any damage whatsoever. Everybody in the midfield seems to have got through cleanly. Oh, and somebody is in the pits. It's one of the Kimmy's rural fencing cars.
Yeah, look, is that Will Dodd? And we've got another KRF car.
I think it is Will Dodd. It's Mark Noble as well. And he's just had a terrible luck last few weeks. Really, nothing's got to be. The league moderator and owner of the Kimmy's rural fencing team.
Yeah, see if I can't bring that up on a replay and see what happened.
You can see now that Delilich is coming under huge pressure from Lee Day and David Martinez, so we'll see if Day can find a way past.
Just watching this replay back,
if he's going to risk that early on.
3 wide going down the main straight. So I think that was Dodd coming in. Yeah, and then Mark just got a little bit loose. Just coming out of final chicane. Turned it straight into the wall.
Don't know why he's still in the pits unless he's towing. Oh, there he is. He's coming out now, but you know he's going to come out probably right in front of the leaders, so that's going to be a difficult one for him. Going to let everybody through. Long pit lane here, Alex, in this version of the track. Much longer than in Formula One.
Yeah, I think they used the NASCAR configuration here, so it's some 100 odd meters longer, so guys will be on the pit limiter for a lot longer. Makes it strategy all the more important.
Will Dodd, who's been a regular top 10 finisher, regular top 5 finisher over the last several months, is down in 26th place now, so 1 minute and 3 seconds behind. It's a long run back for him, but it is a race.
Yeah, still this battle for the lead spices up as well, getting ever closer, those top 3.
Yep. And
talking about a 3 that are getting closer again. I think we've got, I think that was is that Tobias in there as well with Corey.
Johnson and Black, I think. What do you think Lee Day is going to be thinking, Alex, at this point? Do you think Lee Day is going to want to get past, or do you think he's just going to sit there for a couple of laps and see if he can get by on a mistake?
Well, it's a really tough call because there is so many different strategies that could play out today. You know, people are going to be saving fuel, try and get that one stop less. There'll be people that will be doing short stints earlier on to try and get some track position, and those that are going to try and go longer and get it back towards the end of the race once the pack's thinned out. So it's hard to know. I mean, I think he seems fairly content with where he is now. He's not looking like he's, you know, making any kind of like gestures to get past. There's no weaving behind just to distract Delilich up front. So yeah, I think for the moment he just looks happy to stay where he is, as he's about to have a look. That's just typical.
Yeah, he's stalking him really here. He's letting Delilich do the worry, make the early pace, and just content to follow and just shadow him for a moment. Gurney did get past Jason Black, so it's 6th place for him. See a little bit further down the road. Excuse me if you can't hear me for any reason. Brenton O'Brien and João Oliveira having a good scrum. They've also got Jimmy and Gon in there as well. And they're all just in front of Shane Brooks. So Shane has lost a little bit of ground.
Yeah, just having a quick look at that battle as well on the separate screen. Brenton just pulling away a little bit, but he's gone wide.
Shane Brooks smacked the wall going through that infield section of the, after the first and second chicane. And now to see Damien McConkey's got a great run on Brian. Can't make anything stick there. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Shane Brooks got pretty major damage on the front of his car.
Fail on my camera skills there, switch to that action, and the main camera switches to it as well.
Oh dear. 0.4 of a second separate lead in Delilich. I think he wishes he'll have some DRS, Alex, but sadly not.
Yeah, no, I mean, you think of this track, right, it's such long straights when you think of it with the F1s, but it's actually really difficult to get a good run out of that final hairpin to be able to get enough slipstream to get alongside. So everywhere else, it's too short. So the main really areas are going into the last turn and possibly turn 1 as well, if you can get a good drive off that final chicane.
Because you can chuck it inside, up the inside into the hairpin, but never quite know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, as we just see Day getting extremely close to the wall there. Still, these top 3 just going about their business really. They don't look like they're pressuring each other.
Well, it's the with regards to getting close to the wall, it's the skill of these top drivers that they're able to get so close without hitting it, opening up the track for themselves. Have a look at these lines through the Quebec chicane. I think that looks nice.
Yeah, it seems to be a couple of different groups. I mean, Corey's just keeping himself out of any kind of trouble in there at the moment, 4th place. But then you've got Philip Johansson, Tobias, Jason, just all forming up this second group. I mean, looking at the lap times, it doesn't seem to be a great deal between them. Talking half a second at tops, so at most even there. So shall I dare try and get the live timing to work again? Apologies, we had a lot of hope, split screen action today, which is working, I'm glad to say. But yeah, we're going to have live timing on the website as well if you're watching on ARLTV. But alas, we had some technical issues with the web server, so that's failed to work. Oh yeah, and as you can see again, no joy.
My computer's just forcibly alt-tabbed me out of the session on its own, so I'm momentarily out of the picture, but
Yeah, Lee Day again getting ever so close to the rear end of that Race on Oz Ford Falcon as they look down the back straight. As I was saying again, he was as close as he's ever been, but just failed to get enough of a run. The slipstream's not going to bring him close enough. In fact, it looks like there's nothing between them straight line speed, so...
Wonder if that's the plan, you know, set up the car for the long straights. You know, try your best to stay in front, but...
See, all three guys hit the inside of the curb on that final chicane. Definitely seems like the more forgiving of the two.
The first one?
Yeah. The second one just flies you off into the wall of champions, as we've seen so many times in many another race.
Yep, yep. I mean, it does depend on how you hit the second one. If you do hit the second one in a certain way, you can actually go very quickly through there, but you do not want, ideally, from a risk point of view, you don't want to be hitting that very often. What are we expecting in terms of a pit stop strategy today, Alex?
Well, I got a little email from Tobias, and I can't bring it up right now, unfortunately, but there was quite a lot of stops that are going to be involved in this race, so and definitely, like I say earlier, definitely an option to try and save one. So I think we're looking at a minimum of 3 stops, I believe.
Right. Well, we've been going for only under 13, just over 13 minutes, I think, at a point, and the long race is still 1 hour, Alex, and 32 minutes left.
Yeah. Well, I might even have enough time to get the live timing working again. Who knows?
You'll probably go and have tea and biscuits, won't you, at this point?
Tea and biscuits sounds good.
Little battle for 5th place here. Well, in fact, Cherney's just got by Phil Johansson on that last lap, so we didn't see it on the camera. I'm just going to wander back down the field. Trevor Johnson is 16th. Do we know why he's down there?
No, we got the slowdown penalty on lap 1, which cost him a lot of time. He hasn't been in the pits.
Well, I can give you an idea of his lap times so far. 48.7, 39.2, 47.7, 39.1, 48.2, 48.0, 39.0. So he's obviously had a complete nightmare with penalties or something like that. Oh, sorry, that was his qualifying times, but his race times haven't been that much better. To be honest, he's had 45s, 43s. The leaders at the moment are in 39s, so Johnson struggling here today. We've got João Oliveira has just been passed by Isaac Figueiredo. That's 20th place for Isaac. Mike Noble now, I don't know what happened to him, but he's now 2 laps down, so disappointment for him.
Yeah, he only cost him a lap in the pit, so I'm guessing he had another little visit, or maybe didn't get fast, as can sometimes happen. Yeah,
which is a big shame. Oh, and somebody's off. Got a car off. That was. It was Steve McPherson, actually, Noble's teammate. He was in 17th place, but had a bit of an incident. Let's have a little look and see. He spun off. Oh dear. I think it's the uphill chicane. Is that turn 5 and 6? Is it?
Here's turn 5 and 6. Yeah, I was just thinking.
So he's
quickly.
Spun off on the second part of that. I don't know if he got too much curb on the first part, but sent him into the possibly at the tap of the fence there. And he's back on, but he's lost a lot of positions actually, McPherson. Yeah, he's down to 22nd now, Stephen McPherson, after that. So he's behind a man who I think is new to the series, Nils Jordan. So
been covering these top three. Nothing looks like it's going to change for a little bit now. So what we got going on further back?
I'm just noticing Day had a good run there coming down the main straight.
Tobias seems to be on his own in 4th place. Corey's dropped all the way down to 7th.
Might have a little bit of something for you here.
Got Nathan having a, I think that was having a go on Bean, was it? Actually, it might have been Graham. I think he's already got through. It was indeed. Who's blinking like crazy out there. And you can see it's putting off Craig somewhat.
Corey Preston's in the pits, Alex.
Yeah, Corey in. So, wondering if he had some sort of issue.
Is this in the window for the? I mean, I suppose it'll be in the window for 3 stops, possibly. Maybe he's seen a window to come out of the pits in some fresh air. Who knows?
Still trying to get this working, so apologies for not interacting as much.
I don't know if he just went over the white line there on the exit of the pit lane. Would have been close, that one. Don't want to do that. That can carry a penalty. The lead day still only 4 or 5 tenths behind, but he's not. Yeah, he's not really threatening, is he? Have a look. There's a few cars in the wars today, I tell you. I think Kirsty Black's been in the wars with with Shane Brook. Oh, big crash there, Alex. Back there, Shane Brook. It looked like Kirsty had a slowdown penalty, and taking it on the main straight, drifting across slightly, and Shane Brook unfortunately was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I've seen that before. Sometimes you're so busy looking at how much time you need to give back, you're not looking in the mirrors.
Oh, big crash as well, coming out of the well, just before the hairpin that goes into the chicane that goes into the hairpin. I'm not sure what was going on there.
Who was that? Who knows involved there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to have a look. Looks like it was Isaac. Yeah, his car is extremely damaged now.
Have a look then.
Just limping his way back to the pits.
So he goes into that chicane, loses it, goes onto the grass, tries to get it back on bins. Tries to get it back on, and is he going to collect? Oh, unlucky. That is a bit unlucky for both of them, really. I think he was trying to get out of the way, but that's the natural racing line on that corner. Go as close to the wall as possible. Nothing that Nils Jordan could do there. With the pits, then we have Martinez. Who's it? From 4th place. Well, from what was 3rd place. See where he comes out now. I reckon he's going to come out in the top 10 still. 7th or 8th, maybe. Although it is a long stop on this track, isn't it?
I mean, I think we were counting it just for the F1 cars, which are obviously going to change tyres a lot quicker, refuel a lot quicker.
Oh, and he's coming up.
Somewhat
coming
30
outside.
seconds. So.
Right. Yeah, so this is going to be a bit longer. As you see there, one of the yellow, it's Eremenko. With a slowdown penalty, it looks like. Having to give way to a couple of drivers, so Chris Bean, I think, has gone through. Graham Fyland's gone through. Craig Jones, I think, too. All action at the moment. At least we're only, well, we're about 1/5 distance.
Yeah, Trevor Johnson just moving up a place there on the screen.
These guys
past Jenkins as well.
Oh, we've got
McPherson's coming through as well. That's Philip Johansson, 14th. Dale in 15th. So a lot of different action going on now that the pit stops have started to happen.
Craig Jones having a look at Graham Fyland, and in fact Fyland has gone wide at the hairpin, but he's got a great drive out of there, as he would do. So let's just see this one. Eremenko's in there as well. Could be 3 wide down to the chicane. Oh, on the straight. Massive crash on the straight. Oh, that was something like that was always going to happen. Fyland and Eremenko. That's a disaster.
Forgive me for being mistaken, are they not teammates there as well? Both on the Race on Oz team, so should have given each other just a little bit more room there.
I failed to see how you couldn't see the other car there. Like Graham was a little bit, well, he was a bit desperate there trying to get out from the slipstream. Can't do it if there's a car alongside, really. It's a complete accident, but maybe could have been preventable. That was the biggest crash I've seen in a long time. Not on the main straight here at Montreal. The leader, Sanjin Delilic, bouncing over the curbs at the last chicane. Lee Day's in the pits now, Alex. It's a key moment. Well, even so early on in this race.
Yeah, I guess from Sanjin's point, he'll be happy that he had a little bit more fuel on that early stint. Was able to keep Day behind him.
Yeah, that'll be the strategy, and I think again, there's still so long left. There's over 1 hour and 20 minutes left that this isn't going to decide the race, you wouldn't think, but definitely go a big way towards shaping this, at least this first half. We're already seeing big gaps appearing, aren't we, Alex? Even at this early stage.
Yeah, again, I think this is just another massively over the curbs there. Johansson just about manages to keep it. Well, he didn't keep it out of the Wall of Champions, but he kept it pointing forwards.
Yeah, Lee Day, Damien McConkey was coming around turn 2, and Lee Day almost had to cut the pit exit line in order to avoid him.
Well, if that, I'm not sure who that was who got that break in. I think it was Jenkins. I can't. Yeah, it was indeed Jenkins there, just down into the hairpin, locks it all up. He was trying to hold on from what looks like his teammate, but I don't believe they are. And yeah, Paul McPherson there, just see this green and purple thing come steaming up the inside.
I think
all
they are teammates. I think it's exactly the same car. So
I just thought it was a standard skin. That was all. They didn't have a.
Well, it's got the same. It's got exactly the same markings on it. So I assume they are teammates. Who knows? Philip Johansson's car is in the right mess, Alex, after his brush with the wall.
Yeah, we've got another Race on Oz guy going a bit slow there as well, so I'm not sure what that was. Have to check back up with that later.
Corey Preston's just taken Luke Emerton. Emerton's pitting. You see, that's awkward, that, because he's just... Whoa, there's a spinner at the chicane. It's Noble. Almost lost it. Managed to gather it up. Like we say, it's a long race. Many retirements can still happen between now and the end. Noble 3 laps down at the moment. Can still salvage a decent result if he keeps going.
Yeah, he's fortunate to pick up on Mark again. Just watch that back, see what happened going into that. Final chicane. Yeah, car just doesn't look happy over the bumps today at all.
No.
Rather
And the
than-
KRF guys have had a very good setup recently for these bumpy circuits. Yet
Yeah.
Mark's car just looks,
I just want to
awkward.
point out that through the pit stop phases, actually, we're just looking on screen now, is that Martinez has actually jumped Day, so Day even further back than he wants to be right now.
And they're battling on the track, Alex, as well.
And
They were side by side almost in the hairpin momentarily.
Sanjin's obviously down to third place, but he went that little bit longer, so he'll have the tyre wear later on in the stint. So he might have given up track position now, but he'll probably gain the time later on in the race. See how this pans out.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he's lost so much time, actually. You would have thought maybe the lighter fuel load might have helped him out a little bit here, but
Yeah, it's all about tyres though, isn't it, really? The fuel doesn't make too much difference. I mean, again, from speaking to Tobias, he expected everyone to fill it up because the fuel doesn't make so much of a difference to the time loss round here. It's all about the tyre wear, so yeah, the undercut is what we're going to see the most of for getting track position.
well, Martinez has definitely used the undercut to his... Oh, I think he clipped the wall there. Not sure if he did, but I definitely heard something.
Yeah, that's one thing we've noticed actually with the with this Montreal circuit. Obviously, something new coming with this latest build is that some of the little
Maybe.
the little grazes of wall, perhaps not just quite happening as being shown. That's the one issue with the like the net coding, if you would have it. So they get close, but they're not quite touching it.
Otherwise,
Although that looked pretty bloody close.
it was very close. I would say though that again, we say this all the time, but yet again, iRacing have done an extremely good job with this circuit. It's one of the classic circuits of Formula One, and done a fantastic job.
Yeah, it just looked like Preston was having a little look up the inside, but back to the battle
Day.
for the lead. Day
Yeah.
again extremely close, but he just doesn't have the drive out of that final hairpin. Again, Martin is able to pull enough of a gap to be safe going into that corner.
I just wondered if there was a tiny bit of contact at the hairpin as well, so maybe Day's getting a tiny bit impatient now. We've had 17 laps, and in the first stint he had Delalich in front of him. This stint he finds Martinez there, and this is allowing Delalich actually to get a little bit closer. He's only 3.3 seconds behind the leader. So Day really needs to get past just in case Delalich catches them.
Yeah, I think you're right there. I mean, Day was the first one in the pits as well, so it's more important for him to get by. He wanted that track position, I think, and he didn't come out with it. Somehow Martinez got the jump on both guys.
I mean, he's looking a lot more threatening to David than he was behind Sanjin. I mean, he's right up his sphincter now.
Yeah, it's become very apparent. I think that he's going to need to get a move done. So
And he might try it down into the hairpin.
he's having a little look. He's coming over. Martinez doesn't feel the need to cover it.
I was going to say it's a brave man who chucks it up the inside there. He tries to get a good exit, but again, the guy in front is just on the throttle momentarily earlier than you, so they're always going to get a better run out of there. Especially in these cars where low aero cars, they don't get up to speed as quickly as an F1 car, so the slipstream effect kicks in later on down the straight, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was the first time I would say I've really seen it where he was able to have half a chance. I mean, before he just pulled away, but this time a lot closer. So perhaps just working out the best line to take.
Yep, and speaking of a lot closer, Delalich took 7/10 out of Martinez on the last lap, so he's going to join this battle very, very soon. Looking down the list of drivers, Trevor Johnson's still 13th, having a shocking race so far. Just not going well for him.
Yeah, Kirsty Black out there just driving around, minding her business, making sure she finishes the race today, 24th place. There's a lot of guys that aren't going to finish this race, I can tell you.
Yeah, she's had her first ARLTV SuperCar accident today, so you've got that one out of the way, Kirsty. So I think they go, yeah, just finish the race now, see where you can finish. Got Will Dodd after that early, I think it was a collision, wasn't it, on the first lap. 16th now, sorry. And the lap down, he lost a lot of time. He lost over a minute just on the first lap alone. Otherwise, his pace is pretty good. Got Brenton O'Brien actually behind him. Just check the leaders again. And Day got a brilliant run out of the final chicane, Alex. And slow down penalty for Martinez. And the leaders changed hands.
Yeah, Martinez, that was the last thing he needed, but we were on board actually with Day at the time. And
there's a car off at the first corner, right in front of the leaders. It was João Oliveira who... Oh, dear me. Oliveira scares me with his racecraft sometimes. Things like that. Needs to sort that out a little bit. We've seen him get involved in quite a lot of incidents, Alex. It's just he seems to always find trouble.
yeah, he's obviously suffering out there. I mean, to be that much off the pace, he must have some damage on that Falcon somewhere, so...
Yeah, but he was running in 15th place, but... again, just not really hooking it up. Now, is this going to be... was that the decisive moment of the race, potentially? I mean, Lee Day, we know how quick he is. We know he's been right up the front before, but now managed to, for the first time in this race, he's got a clear track in front of him. No competitors there to hold him up or to even slow him down slightly.
Well, this is when we're going to see, you know, the kind of pace that he potentially has. He's going to need to pull away here. He knows that guys are going longer than him on strategy, so it's important for him to break away now.
Yeah, Delilich is still catching him as well, so we'll see. This is the thing, we'll see for the first time exactly what pace Sanjin has in terms of being able to fight for the race win. We still have a seriously long way to go. Anything can happen. And I fear before long my timing screen is going to become useless because everybody's going to be laps down and it won't help me at all. Tobias Cherney's within 9 seconds of this group though. Now, I need to check on something. He has made a pit stop, so he's right in this fight, you know. And he's catching these guys.
We never ruled Tobias out. He's the man who always has sort of the most consistent pace out there. And
he was 7/10 quicker than Lee Day on the previous lap.
I was about to say, he'll just slowly tick on by and work his pace up and get quicker and quicker and quicker. How often do we see Tobias obviously being the fastest he ever is towards the end of the usual 60-minute races? So an extra half an hour on there to really...
This is about his time, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. About now is when he really starts coming into his own. So we'll keep an eye on him, see how his progress happens. Maybe he's got some sort of strategy that we don't know about as well. This is the other thing. So,
well, if last week was the race that was least suited to Tobias, then this is love the longer races, and like you said, the consistency aspect is a massive strength for him. Previous season's champ, looking very solid, it has to be said. And let's see this time round what he do. Delilich has got the gap down to 1.1, Alex. So I wonder if Lee's Day just isn't. Maybe he isn't the fastest man. Cherney again, 39.2. He's got that down to 8.1 seconds. I think he's going to be there probably by half distance.
Yeah, I'd have to say so. I'm just we were just keeping an eye on a little battle going on further back with Steve McPherson and Steve Jenkins. Steve Jenkins again tried to slide out the inside of the hairpin, overcooks it,
and now he's a second behind. Got another battle for you. Well, it was quite a close battle. It's not as close now. Nathan Aramenko and Craig Jones. They were within just 0.4 of a second. I wonder if Aramenko has actually made the move. He's setting off after Corey Preston. Well, I'll say after Corey Preston. Preston's quite a way in front of him, but he's pitted again, so he made an early stop before.
Well, Nathan obviously was caught up in that
incident.
Time. Yeah, Nathan caught up in that instant down the straight, wasn't he, with his teammates? So he, I'm guessing
he's used his fast toe.
Used his fast toe, got himself a fresh car, and got out there as Tobias puts a lap on the BC Racing car there.
Yep, and I give a lot of credit here. We haven't mentioned him so far today, but Aaron Hamilton is up into 6th place. And he's had a bit of a difficult few weeks in the league, but he's definitely having a good one today.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron not really lighting the timing sheet up with his lap times here. I mean, last time by 1:41.1. So, I mean, his quickest time is some sort of 2.5 seconds. Well, sorry, 1.5 seconds off of what the leaders are doing. So he's keeping it consistent, keeping out of trouble. This is the most important thing with Montreal. You know, those slowdown penalties that you can get for cutting these chicanes and you know, bumping over the curbs too hard. But we see him giving both of them a bit of a smash there.
Well, he might be 1.5 seconds slower, but he's 1.5 seconds slower every single lap. Whereas some people are on the pace, then slow down penalty, then crash, then, you know, so. And Delilich is only 0.5 second behind Lee Day, so this could be where, Alex, that tyre strategy you were talking about is going to really come back to him.
Yeah, let's just jump and have a little look at the leaders, see what's going on.
Really threatening him now.
Yeah, I certainly think he's going to have his hands full for this race. He needed to, that little stint behind Martinez really cost Day. He needed to break away and make a bit of a gap when he had the fresh tyres, but so attacks both curbs.
Pete Cherney had a poor lap on the last time round. It was a 41.1, so some of that hard work just evaporated for him, but we'll see what it is this time round. David Martinez has gained a bit of time back. Well, Cherney out to 9.4. I don't know whether he's just overheated his tyres slightly.
Yeah, I think he had a little bit of traffic actually on that last lap, so just, you know,
Mark
what it's
Noble
like,
having it.
negotiating that just slows you down a little bit.
Mark Noble having an absolute shocker today. It really is. But, you know, if we know Mark, he's going to keep trying.
Yeah, exactly.
Must be difficult though on a track like this.
We do know Mark well enough to know that he'll bounce back some of the next races, put in a little bit more practice if he can, and want to see Mark make a top 10 this season. I know he's capable of doing it. Was that Martinez just running a little bit wide in the background, did I see?
Oh, I don't know.
Seems like he might have got away with it if he did.
Yeah, he went over the grass a little bit, but it looks like it was okay.
As he slides it into the hairpin.
Yeah, struggling a bit with his rear tyres, it looks like, so.
Yeah, definitely. You can see all four of the top guys now, all on the same shot as well, coming into that hairpin, so.
Yep, and, you know, that's it. Well, 4 guys within 10 seconds of each other after 24 laps. Still pretty good. This time round, 6/10 between the two leaders, but as Murray Walker used to say, you don't need to see that it's 6/10 of a second. You can see it there right in front of your eyes. David Martinez, 4.6. Tobias Cherney, 9.2. Still either one of these 4 could win the race today, I think. Still enough time, still an hour left.
I'll get pictures right back in just a second. Again, just another little technical glitch coming our way.
Trevor Johnson's picking up his pace a tiny bit, but it's still not really that great. Dale Nish either. He's had a shoddy run as well from 4th on the grid. He qualified on a 38.2, which was 4/10 quicker than Cherney, and now he's 1 minute and 23 seconds behind.
Yeah, very unusual to see him way down there, really struggling today. I mean, it's a tough track. I mean,
It is.
I didn't take to it at all well when I was running here a few weeks back. I know it well, drove it in different sims, and but yeah, no, I really struggled, and
You were fast, weren't you? But it was just a consistency
yeah,
aspect.
it's just that's the key thing. You can be quick. It's just the consistency. I mean, and the thing I struggled with the most was because I wasn't consistent. It was really hard to try and work on the setup because you'd get 1 or 2 laps in, where you're really pushing the car to try and make sure that it's improving on the limits like you want it to do. And you're sticking it in the wall and getting damaged suspension here and broken wings there, and that's what makes this track ever so tricky when preparing for a race like this. Is being able to get the best set possible under you when you're constantly stuffing it into the walls.
This is it, and I haven't heard howls of frustration from you like that for a long time, as we heard that week. But
it's true, but you haven't been on this week, which we were in Virginia, so.
Oh well, I can imagine. I decided listen about Virginia. I mean, coming from the other aspects, I did the race itself, and it does take a lot of concentration. I had a couple of tiny little slips, and I banged into the wall a couple of times and got damage, and it's so frustrating because it can ruin your race. Fortunately, I got a good finish out of it, a top 3, but you just can't take liberties with this track at all at any time. And look at this, Delalich has somehow managed to. He dropped back a little bit at the start of the lap, Alex, and he's just closed in a little bit again.
He threw the hairpin, he was right on him. Both guys just slamming through the final chicane, and
Dave smashing the second
David
curve.
Martinez does indeed come into the pits this time by, so he's going really early. Perhaps
he's going for an undercut then.
Yeah, perhaps just trying to get track position back again if he can.
Bernie's hanging in there at 8.4 seconds, so.
Yeah, he's slowly coming down is that gap, so I think for Tobias's point of view, he really needs Stangen to really start putting the pressure on Day, and maybe a little bit of defending that's going to go on. Just a second here, a second there could really help his race today.
Jason's pit stop
up into 4th place now with Martinez's pit. Hamilton does indeed come into 5th, so breaks into the top 5. So well done to him.
B in 8th, in 7th. Sorry. Don't know whether he's managed to get through as well.
Yeah,
I was just looking at Cherney's lap times, Alex, since his pit stop. 38.5, 38.8, 38.8, 39.4, 39.2, and he had a 41.1 and a 40.8, but then he was back at 39.7, 39.3, 39.8, so those 2 laps really have hurt him quite badly in this fight. 2 poor laps.
Yeah, didn't manage to get past.
Look at Delalich.
Close.
Oh, that's not Lee Day, it's a pink and black car, it looks like it, but it wasn't. Thought he'd managed to get the run for a second there. Almost identical from the back, those 2 cars. As we got Isaac de Figueiredo moving out of the way, he's 19th. Bit of traffic has allowed Lee Day just to get a little advantage. 1.2 seconds now. Cherney pits from 3rd place. The Corey Preston in as well.
Yeah, let's just keep an eye on Tobias in the pits here for second.
Corey Preston's 3 laps down, Alex. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah, he dropped down quite a bit early on. Remember, he took a ridiculous early pit stop, lap 7, so I'm pretty sure he picked up some damage. And talking about damage, Tobias has definitely got some as well. He comes out just behind his teammate Martinez, so
this is going to work out well for these two, you would think then.
Yeah, I think they're probably... David just got caught up with that bit of traffic. Well, I say traffic, but it's actually Aaron Hamilton.
It's not... It is traffic in some shape or form, but it's for position, is this? This could ruin the races of Martinez and Journey if they can't go through on Hamilton here. We've seen Lewis Hamilton win on this track, and namesake doing a good job today. Martin is actually having a look. Is he going to throw it up the inside in the chicane? He is. That's a brave one. Very brave move, relying on Hamilton to not turn in on him. And look at Cherney going around the outside as well. That was really good from David Martinez.
Yeah, and great move from Tobias as well there. He saw what was coming on. He positioned his car in a position where he knew he would get a good run off the corner and managed to drive around the outside there. So he's lost even less time, and he's really closed the gap up on his teammate now.
Yeah, it just make you wonder whether these two will actually end up closer, or whether it was a poor pit stop by Martinez that put him back into Cherney's grasp. So we'll have to see that.
Yeah, well, if I let's just.
Oh, and it's very close again with the leaders, Alex. Delic is the faster driver in this stint, there's no doubt, but Day somehow manages to keep him at arm's length. There's not really been any wheel-to-wheel battling, has there?
No, not really. I mean, again, I just think this is what we get when we, we're dealing with a 90-minute endurance race. The guys, they will battle a little bit, but it's mainly going to come down to that last stint where they're really going to put the pressure on.
Well, it's 105 minutes is this one, so... Oh, and Day getting all kinds of out of shape coming out of the hairpin. And this gives Delic at least a chance to get a little bit closer down the straight. Tucked right in the slipstream of that big heavy Ford Falcon. Down towards the chicane for the 29th time. In fact,
both guys
Day
into
doesn't
the
elect
pits.
to take it. Oh, and yeah, Delic I think got a better entry. Let's have a look. Well, Martinez and Cherney are coming into the hairpin now, so it's going to be pretty close. This is such a long pit lane, Alex. I think that Martinez and Cherney would have no chance at all, but it's going to be close, I think.
Yeah, let's just keep an eye on this. I'm watching it from the pit cam, so we'll be able to see these guys race on the pits and see the two Lenovo guys coming if they do manage to do it. No, it's not.
That's Day, isn't it? Is it?
It's Johnson just coming out of the pits there.
Oh, it's Johnson.
Well.
Similar looking car. Here they come, I think. Look, these two out now.
Yeah, and Delic gets the jump on them as well, but this is going to be close going into turn 1.
These two round the outside of the corner. And yeah, they've done it by 3 or 4 seconds. But Delic, most importantly, won the battle on the pit lane. Brilliant.
Yeah. Let me just. You can just see there as well the pit stop time is Delic 17.4 seconds as opposed to 17.9. So
very close.
The ANZ guys just half a second slower, but that was enough for to lose the place.
Much. I mean, I say a much quicker pit stop, but very, very close. Just managed to gas it out of there. But what was Lee did now? Sitting behind Sanjay Delic, thinking, "Oh God, there's someone in front of me again." Has he got the pace? Delic has looked really good in the second stint. In the first stint, it looked like Day was slightly good. I mean, what do you think is going to happen now? What, half distance in this race now?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting close to this one. Don't count out the two Lenovo lads as well. They have been slowly working their way back up. Obviously, Martinez got his slowdown penalty when he had track position, but Tobias was some 9 seconds out. I mean, I even saw it at 10 seconds at one point. Let's just see what it is as he comes across the line. 5 seconds now, so he definitely has the pace. We know in the official series as well, he qualified really well, so...
And his teammate Martinez, he's not out of this either. By a long shot, 4.2. I don't think he's got as much pace as Journey has over the single lap, but... Well, I don't think he has as much ultimate pace as Journey, but he's hanging in there.
Yeah, I thought Dave was just about to have a little look up the inside.
I wonder if David will let Tobias go. Maybe see if he can pull him towards the two leaders, who, you never know, Alex, we've seen this many times in this competition. We saw it last week. The leaders came to blows then. Will it happen again today?
Yeah, well, very well. Could happen, and you can imagine a late move going into that final chicane. No one wanting to give. That could be very, very spicy.
I don't think it's going to happen on this lap at least. Oh, but Delaledge got a bit wide around the hairpin. It doesn't hurt you that much from the experiences in the F1 car. You can actually...
Yeah, you just get on the...
Save the time, you know, by getting a better exit.
Exactly, he's got on the power just a tiny little bit earlier, but used the extra width.
Very close into the chicane.
They actually braking just a little bit earlier, but perhaps not as hard as Sanjin there.
Looks like these two are actually missing the first curve, Alex, and hitting the second one.
Yeah, a slight change from how it started off this race, but I guess as the guys just get a little bit more comfortable in the car, they're sort of being a little bit more aggressive with it.
We've mentioned it's reasonably difficult to overtake on this track, but these, you know, remember these cars, they do have increased braking distances compared to the high downforce single seaters used in Formula One. You know, it does open up overtaking opportunities on the brakes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you don't have to be fully alongside to do it. You can get these cars stopped relatively quick, but you just have to actually nail the braking. So.
And look at this. Sorry, Alex, it looks like Lee Day's ever closer.
They head down to this difference in the line there between both guys, because the last few laps Day looked like he's having a little bit of a look, but nothing really comes of it. But he's very close coming out of that into this hairpin. Surely
I think he's going to have a go.
Little look. No, doesn't even come out at all.
A little surprise in there. Oh, and he's pushing him out of the hairpin. There's a bit of contact, and now he's going to be right in the slipstream. It's almost bump drafting him up the main straight. But Day, is he brave enough to put his car alongside that of Sanjin Delaledge?
Just doesn't look like he's got enough straight line speed in that car again. I mean, he couldn't have got any closer. I mean, he was pushing him. I know that sort of lost him a little bit of momentum, but still. It's a long race still to come.
We're only at
there's
half
a little bit of
distance,
tactics coming off here. Two chances he could have had to get past there, and didn't really look at either of them. So,
is it possible that he's got a better balance when following someone than when he was in front? Because he's looked menacing and very fast when following Delaledge on both stints today.
Yeah, it could.
Oh, and he's got. Ooh, he got very sideways. Sorry there, Alex, on the braking. Almost took out the leader.
Yeah, you could be right. We see it a lot of the time actually. Some of the guys set the cars up as if they're going to be in a pack, and you know, they need just that little bit of extra downforce or whatnot. So now that he's tucked up behind Delaledge, he's able to run sort of how he wants to run. As we see Martinez scraping the wall in the background.
All the other drivers are going to have to forgive us a little bit for showing a lot of this lead battle, but it is very, very interesting and very, very hard fought. Just to give you a quick rundown of the, well, we'll do the order. Since we've got to half distance, Sanjin Delaledge after 55 minutes leads by just about 0.4 of a second from Lee Day. David Martinez in third, Tobias Cherney fourth, Jason Black. There's 45 seconds between fourth and fifth now. Back up there in fifth. Aaron Hamilton sixth, Chris Bean seventh, ahead of his teammate Nathan Eremenko. Dale Nish in 9th, Trevor Johnson 10th. Not having a great run today, but still decent points in the top 10. Craig Jones 11th, Will Dodd 12th, after he was 26th after one lap. Zach Baker 13th, good performance. Shao Oliveira, Brenton O'Brien 15th, Stephen Jenkins 16th, Nils Jordan 17th. These are the guys now 2 laps down. Isaac De Figueiredo 18th, Stephen McPherson 19th, ahead of Shane Brook in 20th. Luke Emerton 3 laps down 21st, Mark Noble and Kirsty Black 4 laps down 22nd and 23rd. And I believe all the rest have retired. Corey Preston's still in the pits, I'm not sure what that's about, but Damien McConkey out, Philip Johansson out, and Graham Fyland out after that massive crash with his teammates.
Yeah, it's not through a lack of wanting to cover some of the battles that are going on further back, but the camera is set to most exciting, so if something else crops up, as just happens here with the 2 teammates, we will jump to it and have a little look, but clearly the iRacing doesn't think that was too exciting. Soon jump straight back to the leaders.
Well, Delalich went extremely wide at the hairpin, and I think they sort of had a sniff as Chris Bean, following his teammate Eremenko, just getting a little bit wide in turn 1. These 2 yellow and blue cars, I do love that livery, it's fantastic. But
well, actually, Eremenko just got past his teammate. They were the opposite way around a minute ago. So
that was Bean fighting to stay with Nathan. Luke Emerton's had a disconnection. Well, he was 3 laps down. He might be able to. Yeah, he's back in now. So should have only lost 1 lap, no positions.
yeah, these guys slowly pulling away from the Lenovo pair now. Not by a great deal, but enough.
Yeah, they've picked up the pace, haven't they, since Delalich has got in front. I think actually Delalich is pulling Lee Day along. Just see the lap times and just see if I can get a pattern. Yeah, Alex, Lee Day was up to a second a lap slower when he was out in front as to when he's chasing Sanjay Delalich in both the stints. So in the first stint he was in the 39s consistently. He pits and gets the lead. Second stint in the 39s and 40s, and then in this one he's back in the 38s, 39s again. So clearly gaining quite a bit of time, either from the slipstream or just a better balance.
Probably a combination of both in the end.
Yep.
Just obviously car just accelerating quicker down these back straights. So Brendan O'Brien moves on out the way.
He's just gone 2 laps down, O'Brien. 15th place, so decent run. And that means that Delalich has to defend into 1, which means that in 2, if Day can shoot it out of 2, he's going to have half a chance of getting the inside into the chicane. Now, this is what those Lenovo pair have been wanting to happen, isn't it? These 2 to start getting closer, start fighting, start adjusting their lines.
Yeah, that's the thing, as we see Day just a little bit
Day's
sideways
got a great
coming
run.
out.
Delalich is going to have to cover the inside, otherwise Day's going to be up there like a rat up a drain pipe. These 2 are a bit of contact, shoving Delalich wide. Day goes round the outside. Delalich gets the inside line. The shortest run down to this next chicane now. Delalich is going to have to shove this. Going to have to brake later than Lee Day. Oh, that was lovely. That was beautifully judged by Delalich. Great racing, Alex.
Yeah, sorry about that, a little distracted with a massive bang going on in here. I'll be right back, just need to look into what that was.
That doesn't sound good. As we go on lap 36 down towards the Quebec chicane. ARLTV V8 Supercar Series. Got this endurance race here at Montreal. It's been raging for over an hour now. Andrew Woodhouse and Alex Simpson with you. Sanjay Delalich leads from Lee Day. 10th between them on the previous lap. They have company as well. This race is not a two-horse race. 5 seconds behind is the Lenovo Racing pair of David Martinez and the reigning series champion Tobias Cherney. Only getting a little held up by traffic that time. O'Brien, oh goodness. Cost Cherney a few tenths. O'Brien wasn't almost didn't look like he was paying attention there. Delilich leads, Lee Day in second. Day, again, when he's behind Delilich, he looks to have great pace coming up to Kirsty Black now. It's nicely out of the way. Day's got so much more pace when he's following, it's unbelievable. Is there going to be a move into the hairpin? Is Delilich going to cover the inside line? He sort of does. Drifts across in the braking area. Didn't get a very quick apex, but he shoots it out there. He diamonds the corner off to get a good exit, and that will allow him. We've seen several times that Lee Day's straight line speed isn't able to pull him past a race on Oscar. Lap 37 complete here at Montreal, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Delilich with a different line through 1 and 2, the lead Day. Does end up, he compromises one part of the corner, but he gets out a bit quicker. Coming up to Trevor Johnson now. This is a position that Johnson very, very rarely finds himself in. About to get lapped. My broadcast colleague will be with you, back with you shortly. Some of this battling has allowed David Martinez to get within 3.5 seconds, and he's actually dropped off Cherney, so Cherney's another 2 seconds behind. Don't want to miss the finish of this race. There are 4 cars within 6 seconds of each other. We're 1 hour and 4 minutes into this endurance race here. Danjin Delilich leads, Lee Day in second, David Martinez third, Tobias Cherney fourth, Jason Black in fifth. There's your top 5. But the top 4 separated by nothing really. After over an hour's racing. Lee Day again, just getting within sniffing distance, not really in a position to make a move at the moment. Get quite a nice run out of that final chicane, the Quebec chicane. Down to turns 1 and 2. Delilich scrabbling around for grip through the first part, shoots it out of the second. Both men look like they're struggling for tyres now. We may be due a pit stop within the next 5 or 10 minutes. Closely following, shadowing, looking for any possible opportunity. Oh, Delilich sideways now then. That could provide the opportunity that Lee Day needs. Delilich to the inside, covers the line.
Oh, sorry about that, I'm back. Just in time for a great battle by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. We've just seen Delilich out. I think they're both struggling with the tyres, Alex. I was saying just then on the commentary, I think they'll be due a pit stop fairly soon. Oh, Delilich wide. But again, Day on that tight line, you just can't shoot it out of the hairpin quick enough. Any pits? Oh, pits.
Yeah, Martinez getting closer and closer as well. I take it I missed a fair bit of battling for Martinez to be, I see 3 seconds behind now. 2.8 as he crosses the line actually. Might have lost you just for a little bit here, Woody. Let's just keep an eye on what Martinez is going to do. He's ever closer. Back markers ahead now. This is going to be tricky for Sargent as well. He's going to need to get by both of these guys if he can. His teammate Dale, obviously last week's winner. Is he going to get out of the way? No, he doesn't need to. There's a back marker between them now, so there's a little bit of breathing room. And actually, we've got a crash. That looks like Lee Day caught up with one of the back markers. It's going to completely ruin his day. Let's take a quick look at that back on replay, see exactly what happened. Be a terrible way for this race to have been decided. Hopefully he got himself into the pits, I'm not sure. But yeah, back marker there. Just got himself all crossed up because of letting Sargent through. Massive damage on the front right hand corner there. Oh, and he just completely rear-ended him as well. I'm not sure what that was about. Lost my co-commentator. He might be muted or just stepped away for the moment, but I think post-race stewards are going to have to look at that. That marker should not be getting involved in a race, especially when we've had 41 laps separated by all of 1/10 of a second. Possibly my commentator's back. No, still got no audio from him. I think he's back now.
Hello?
Oh, maybe not. I can hear myself.
Hello?
Say again?
Hello?
Yeah, it seems better.
Hey. There we go.
We like our little technical glitch. Woody, what did you make of that incident, mate?
I was sorting my sound out. How long ago?
A couple laps ago, going into the final chicane. Just watch that back. What it has done though is
just as I got off then.
Yeah, literally, it has given us the opportunity to take a look at some other battles that are on track now.
Oh, it's...
Aaron Hamilton still in 5th place, but am I right?
I didn't see it, unfortunately. I think what happened when my sound cut out was it cut out the ruling of the replay, so unfortunately I missed it. Can you take me through it?
Yeah, go Sargent and Day coming out of the final hairpin, 2 back markers ahead. I'm not sure who the back marker is yet. I haven't looked back, named any names.
The blue car, wasn't it?
Yeah, the BC. Is it BC
racing car?
Yeah. And so Sargent goes past into the pits here. Yeah, goes past, and then obviously Day follows the back marker through the chicane.
Zach Baker it is.
Yeah, unfortunately gets himself all out of shape, and Day just piles into the back of him, got nowhere to go, and then going down the main straight
He piles into him.
Yeah, he just piles into the back of him. Looked very deliberate, I have to say. See what gets said afterwards, but there's no place for that.
Unfortunately, I literally just see the contact. I can't see anything leading up to it, so I can't see the can't see whether he braked or not, whether he decided to, you know, see that. So
what has changed while we've been away?
If so, then that's awful, and well, if there's a deliberate incident, then that'll be the last you ever see of this person.
Yeah, Tobias Cherney now does, with his early pit stop, does jump his teammate as well. So Tobias up to second. Martinez obviously in third, so retains third because of what happened with Day. Day's still out there, 5th place shown at the moment. Obviously, he can tow.
That fast tow, yeah.
You can tow back. I mean, the guys were so far ahead that while yes, he's going to have lost practically a lap, he will still retain a decent position because they'd lapped so many people.
Got a chance of P4 here, essentially. Lead Day, and I think he's probably going to get it, judging by his pace beforehand. But you know, still just over half an hour to go as we see Cherney going past the back marker. There's a man in the wall down there somewhere. I'm not sure who that was. The car struggling off the track there.
Yeah,
Craig Jones off.
Craig Jones struggling.
Oh, that's Cherney and Martinez as well. So Jones needs to collide and stick to it. Oh! And that means Martinez has got through past Cherney, look. The indecision. Either indecision or a slowdown.
Yeah, I wonder if it wasn't, like you said, like it wasn't a little bit of indecision there because he just didn't know what was going on with Jones wobbling all over the place. Teammate flies by.
Craig there. Jones in the top 10. Jones actually in front of Trevor Johnson, so great performance really in that respect, but Johnson obviously not at his usual high standard. I haven't got any game sound, so fortunately I can't hear what's going on. A bit frustrated. It's been a very entertaining race so far. We've still got time left. Time left for this one to, well, bubble over again. It already has bubbled over. No, that incident there, was it just caused by, the original incident, just caused by traffic, was it?
Yeah,
just,
really.
It didn't look any, there was no intention on the first one.
No.
And then it was just a bit of payback, was it?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. I think he just got a little bit out of shape
really.
because of his engine coming through and missed his braking point, and then because he was really slow through the apex of the corner, Day just unfortunately hit him.
I think if you're the back marker in that situation, though, if you're Zach Baker, you need to realise that the leader obviously hasn't hit you on purpose because he's the leader. You know, he doesn't want to cause any damage to his car. So, well, if you can't accept that, then well, you need to grow up a little bit. But anyway, we're in the 44th lap. About to finish it. Look at David Martinez and Tobias Cherney. They're right there with Delalich now.
Yeah, I was surprised how quickly they've caught him up actually. So obviously he just had his pit stop.
Maybe
So I'm
slow
guessing
out
that.
lap on
Yeah,
cold tyres.
I'm guessing that. I guess where they had that early pit stop, they've sort of made the jump on him. Pretty much like they did, but they didn't get track position. That's important now. I mean, there's 10 laps to go. He's going to be on absolute spanking fresh tyres now, so he should just be able to pull away and hold on to this first position. But it's all really about Tobias and Martinez being able to put as much pressure on him as possible while his tyres are just getting up to temperature. Force him into a little mistake. That said, we've seen him hold off Day for many a lap, so I can't see it happening.
Well, yeah, I mean, Cherney's arguably the quicker of the three here, but he seems to be getting bad luck with traffic. He's just got balked by Shane Brook a bit there, and doesn't seem to be going right for Tobias at all today. But look at this now, Delilich suddenly going very defensive on Martinez, and he was barely that defensive at all with Lee Day, wasn't he? Straight away, he's right to the inside. I think slow down penalty, is it? Yeah, Delilich having to brake. He must have had a slowdown penalty. But that gives the lead to David Martinez.
Yeah, I didn't see where he got that.
Happening here.
I didn't think that he did anything too wrong.
Neither did I, but you never quite know, unless he had an issue with his pedals or something. He was having to try to just pump the brakes, check if they work. I don't know. Well, that might make it really interesting, actually, Alex, to be fair.
Yeah, 10 laps to go, spiced it right up. Martinez takes the lead. Tangent second. I think Tobias is going to slowly work his way back up towards these guys as well. Especially if they start battling.
Well, yeah. And you'd think Tangent is the quicker of the two here. He has been throughout the race, only fractionally, but yeah, if they start battling, Cherney's right there, German, the reigning champion. He must be able to see. He must be able to see this happening and give him a big boost. Big morale boost. Be able to see it and think, I can win this race. Delilich has driven brilliantly today, after it has to be said. And he's now having a look at Martinez into the hairpin. Is he going to have a... Oh, he does have a look. Oh, that's a half move.
Yeah, Martinez
tried to scare him off the apex,
gave him a
didn't he?
little bit of room, but not enough, really.
Tried to scare him, didn't he? He scared him into going wide. He would have capitalised, but he couldn't do it. Dale Nish is having a poor run as well, 9th place. He's 95 seconds off the lead. Being 8th, Aaron Hamilton 7th, Nathan Eremenko 6th. But Eremenko's got past Hamilton, hasn't he? It's a change, recent change. Jason Black 5th and Lee Day, well, made the mistake, and then he didn't deserve what happened to him later on, but 4th place.
Yeah, I'm guessing we've still got Black to come back in the pits, have we? And probably, well, no, Nathan's been in as well, so Aaron...
I think Black's pitted, actually, I don't know. I'll have a look.
Yeah, you're right, he's done his 3 stops, so he could be locked in. I just expected to see Aaron up a bit further. It just goes to show how the pit stop strategies can pan out, and
I think Black was in front of him anyway, wasn't he?
race can ebb and flow.
I think Black was in front of him anyway, and then I think Eremenko's just caught him and passed him recently. But yeah, Jason Black going decently in E5. I think he'll be happy with that. No, he's been slightly higher up some of the other races, but yeah, I think he's doing well. I think it's going to be very interesting to hear from Lee Day, isn't it, Alex? After this one.
Yeah, he's not gonna be happy. I mean, he posted just a little thing, just, you know, question mark. What was that?
You have a bleeper? you might need it.
Yeah.
Martinez leads, Delilich 2nd, Cherney 3rd, Lee Day 4th, Jason Black 5th. There are your front runners. But there's only really 3 cars in it now for the lead. It's these 3 you can see here, Martinez, Delilich and Cherney all in the same shot. We're now to turn 1. In fact, Martinez is just starting to pull a gap here. Now up to 1.1 seconds.
Yeah, I'm sorry, William. We have to disappear again just for a second.
That's fine. I'll take it. Take it from here. Another lap 48 here of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, the circuit, Gilles Villeneuve, ARLTV V8 SuperCars, Andrew Woodhouse, Alex Simpson was here. We'll be back shortly. The clocks of the race in between time. It is morning/afternoon here. David Martinez leading by 1.1 second over Sanjin Delalich. Started on the front row, had a great battle with Lee Day for the most part. But Day was involved in a couple of incidents. Now Delalich was then passed by Martinez. A lot of traffic now as well.
Alright, back again. Sorry about that. It's been one of those days, really. Interruptions galore.
More and more traffic for the leaders. Yeah, everything all right though?
Yeah, everything fine. So I'm quite surprised actually to see Martinez pulling away here. I honestly thought that seems to have been the quickest out there, but seems to really be struggling in this last stint.
Yeah, I wonder if he's took any damage. I mean, did he get any damage in the incident? Was he involved in that or not?
No, he was completely out of it, so no damage whatsoever. I mean, I don't know if he's just sort of clipped the wall here or there or something like that, and that's perhaps caused him just a little bit of damage, because he just doesn't seem to have the pace that he had. I mean, he's on fresher rubber as well. I truly expect him to be flying at this point.
Yeah, let's look at the lap times.
Tobias not really
39.5 against Martinez 39.2, but look at that. Much closer now. So Martinez must have made a mistake somewhere in the last couple of corners, because Delalich has really closed in here on the Lenovo driver. So, and look at the traffic, Alex. So much traffic.
Yeah, it's interesting actually looking ahead. We've
got
got
Milton Keynes, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got a Race on Oz car just in front, but then we've also got a Lenovo car as well. So could be some team tactics going on here. The guys will be in their TeamSpeak channels now, so hold him up, and you know.
Well, it's all fair for a little while, but maybe don't take the mickey with it. But if you want to hold up the leader for a couple of corners, then definitely allowed to do it. They don't do anything stupid. Must be so frustrating for Journey, Alex. He's there, he's within touching distance. He has been throughout the whole race. He's now as close as he's ever been to the lead. And, well, is it just too far away?
And actually, Lenovo driver there does get a job well done in holding up Sanjin.
And he gets out of the way for Journey beautifully. So
yeah, Nishi
well
as well
there.
needs to.
Which Lenovo driver is that? I don't recognise the paint scheme. Oh, he's outbraked himself and almost hit Journey. Journey's had to go on the grass. Will that be a slow down penalty then?
I think it will be. If you go onto the grass there, it's usually a slowdown, but it doesn't seem to be.
It was João Oliveira who let Tobias past and then nearly ran into the back of him. Who needs opponents when you got teammates, eh?
Yeah, we've already seen a couple come together this week.
I think you'd make it your mission to not get anywhere near the leader, as Dale Nish has to let his teammate through. That'll be a knife in the back, won't it? After such good performances from him at the start of the season. Dale Lynch, less experienced in this series.
Yeah, I don't know. He's had some good races as well, so
that's what I mean. After having such good races last week and
I mean Sanjin as well. Very, very good. He's had some good races early on in the season as well. So I think these guys are fairly even. So
Nish losing it. Previous chicane.
Yeah, Martin has definitely tagged the wall there as well.
Journey lost a lot of time on that previous lap. It's just not going right for him whatsoever, is it?
No, like
every time he comes to the traffic, he seems to get held up, and again, Dale Nish just not well, as he's entitled to do, not making it easy for the man who's chasing down his own teammate. But nevertheless, I think it's a combination for Tobias of his own teammate and some of the race on Oz guys that's cost him 2 seconds there, and that's, I think effectively that's him done, isn't it?
Yeah, I think he'll be a little bit gutted actually with what happened with Craig Jones. You know, he had the potential to be the person that was right behind Delich when he made the mistake, you know, and he could have been in the lead right now, but
that's more back markers causing trouble. I mean, it's just been really, really difficult.
That said, I think he'll still be pretty happy with the third place overall, considering his qualifying position and his early pace to, you know, find the confidence in the car that he's had this late, or second half of the race really. He started to motor in, and we've got one of the LMR cars off. Not sure who that was. Stays out of the way.
Well, we had an incident about a lap or two ago. Shane Brook hit the wall in just coming up to through turn 5, the right hander, and Trevor Johnson was unlucky to just pile into him. So that's one of the men who's at the top of the championship. He's had an awful day, and the awful day continues. And Trevor down in 11th place. Too much damage were done for him.
What's interesting is Tobias has just let Nishi back through, so I'm guessing Tobias is either going to be close on fuel or...
Low down penalty. Surely. That looked very slow through there.
But he's still slow now. This is the thing, I think he's
run out of fuel.
He's going to be extremely close, I think.
Oh, I don't know, he's getting... Maybe he didn't put enough gas in the tank, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so, maybe short-filled it.
He's having to save now.
Which might also have been why he let his teammate go. Maybe he wasn't actually slowed down, maybe he was just took that opportunity to let him go.
Oh, Kirsty Black in the wall.
I don't know, back past Dale again he comes, so yeah, you might have been right, it might have been a slowdown, but I just don't see where he got that slowdown.
I think that's ended his chances. Definitely ended his chances now. So it's Martinez and Delich then. They have just under 20 minutes to fight it out to the death. So you can take home this trophy. I think, well, it'll be a big feather in the cap whoever wins this race, won't it? The endurance race, the biggest race, the longest race so far this season. A good one to win for the bragging rights.
Yeah, massive race. As far as distance goes, I think Watkins is longer. But obviously that's probably average speeds at Watkins, probably a little bit higher than it is here.
This is a long effort though. 1 hour 45 minutes. It's like a Grand Prix at Spa, isn't it, really?
Yeah, well, you're only looking at the server time there, mate. We've got 3 laps to go.
Oh, it's a lapped race. Of course it is.
Get your coat.
All the way through the race, I've been
coat.
saying it's a 1 hour and 45 minute race, and it's just a 55 lap race.
It should be an hour and a half. That's what they were planning for, so we're pretty much bang on for that by...
So we got 3 laps to go then. Bugger it, never mind. That's what I get for waking up late. Paying attention. Right, so 2 laps to go then. 2 laps, death or glory, boys. David Martinez, Sanjay Delich.
Yeah, no one else in it now. Tobias all the way back, 11 seconds behind, so that race time is not going to do him any justice to how close he could have come to winning this race.
I think he'll be delighted with 3rd though. He started 7th. Didn't expect too much after qualifying.
Lide in 4th. I mean, he's not going to finish too far off where he would have finished, I think. I think...
No, I mean, he could have finished 4th if things had gone against him anyway.
Yeah.
He could have finished 4th anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I think, probably the best he had was the 2nd, unless he was just holding fire all this time, but I just don't see it.
Because otherwise he would have made the move, I think, wouldn't he?
Oh,
He had the pace to win, he would have made the move and stayed there. I mean, he did lead the second stint, didn't he? But he wasn't as fast. Nowhere near as fast as he was. Nathan Eremenko is chasing down James 2 seconds behind him. I think we need to concentrate on the battle for the lead, which is getting very, very close. Look how slow Martinez is at the hairpin, just to stop the momentum of the race on Oscar.
Yeah, well, that'll all be about tyres now as well. You've got to remember Martinez pitted in about 6 laps before, so those tyres are going to be particularly slippy right now. This last lap is going to feel like the longest lap.
Yeah, probably the 2 leading teams in this series. Race on Oz and Lenovo. Almost into the wall goes Martinez.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to go defensive here for sure.
But this will allow Delilich possibly. I think you've got to keep your line because Delilich can run. Oh, I think he's hit him, has he? Did he just hit him there, Alex?
I'm not really sure. It didn't look like it affected Martinez. I think he just desperately tried to get out of it, so he didn't hit him.
Just had to lock the brakes up, did he?
Well, I mean, I have to say, I think that pretty much is his race done. I can't see that he's going to get back onto him now.
Going to see quickly from on board while this last lap's going on. Oh yeah, a little bit of contact, only the tiniest little bit, I think. Well, that means
I don't think we've seen Martinez win a race so far this season, so this great race to claim as your first victory,
and the first win for Lenovo as well. They'll be delighted. Rover Alcala will be having kittens.
Still pushing.
Yeah, but he's only got 2 corners to go. We're going to rely on a mistake now. David, you don't want to throw it into the wall of champions on the final lap. That's the only thing between him and victory now. Eremenko's within 1 second of Jason Black. But coming down the long back straight for the final time.
Yeah, Aaron Hamilton's going to stay on the lead lap. He'll be delighted with that as well. 7th place.
Yeah, right and then left goes Martinez. Through the Quebec chicane. Down towards the start-finish line. And David Martinez wins the endurance race at Montreal. Oh, fantastic stuff. And arguably, Alex, the man who had the least pace out of the top 4 in the first half of the race has won it through sheer consistency and brilliance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was nowhere in comparison to the others just to start off with, but great consistency through that race.
You know, he negotiated the traffic beautifully, and you know, Tobias had some problems with that. We saw, obviously, Lee Day had some issues with that. And Delilich, we don't know what happened with him. I'm sure we'll be able to find that out at a later date. But Lee Day, well, 4th place. I think that was the worst case result for him, and I think that's still pretty good for his championship. Out of the final corner he comes. Now then, Black and Eremenko, they've been in the walls on this final lap because they were only 7/10 apart at the start of the previous lap.
Yeah, quite a way away at the moment. I wonder if Eremenko's just a little bit tight on fuel.
Ah, you know what that is, don't you? Right, they came out of the final chicane, and I wonder if yeah, Eremenko, I think, had a slowdown. He had a slowdown, and then later on in the lap, he had a bit of traffic in form of Jason's wife as well. So that was strategically placed there. Excellent.
I'm sure he'd have been hollering her from the other side of the house. Hold him up.
But yeah, a great race today, Alex. I think really enjoyable.
I have to say, considering the length of that race, 4 guys just gave us such a thrilling race there. So close at the front, which is what we wanted to see. But 0.2 of a second covers the first 2. at the end. Tobias 12.2 behind, but you know that's probably way off where I think he was capable of finishing. Had the odd thing not gone his way, and obviously Lee Day, well, who knows what would have happened. But 4th place, not a bad recovery considering what had happened to him. He'll be pretty happy with that nonetheless, I think.
Well,
maybe later on
oh
tomorrow.
yeah.
Not right now.
To this series, probably fairly soon to this series, mate. Here's Bathurst, so
Yeah, I can't wait for that actually.
we will see what happens there.
It's going to be epic. Just having a look at a shot of this Montreal circuit now. It's just such a fantastic track, and again, just to reiterate what you said, Iro's done a stunning job on it. So, right, let's get a couple of the guys up. We've got. I'm just going to quickly speak to Trevor. Actually, he popped in a bit earlier, and couldn't chat to him then. But Trevor, buddy, tell us a little bit about your race today. A bit unusual to see you sort of struggling way down where you were.
Yeah, had a shocker. Lap 1 was a mess. I don't know why, I was just struggling with my brake pedal. I don't know what it was. It seemed to sort itself out after a couple of laps, but sorry to whoever I hit in the final chicane on the end of the first lap or second lap or whatever it was. It's just the rears locked and I had no control. Then it all went downhill from there.
Yeah, I mean, just tell us a little bit about the challenges of this circuit. I mean, it's the first time you guys have really been here, so you know how does the car play over here? I mean, is it not too bad? Is it tricky? Is it consistency the problem? What are the challenges here?
It's a slippery track, very slippery. Not much grip, which is around the twisty section, sort of turn 1 through to the hairpin. It's very hard to keep the power down. The chicanes are okay. Seem a bit harsh on the slowdown penalties here for some reason. But yeah, if you can get the car set up to take the chicanes and try and keep the power down, you seem to do all right. My race pace was all right in practice sessions, but my qualifying pace was rubbish, and yeah.
Obviously, that wasn't your best race. You had you unfortunately caught up in an incident, weren't you, at the end of the race?
Yeah.
What was it like having to, you know, it's a long race, 55 laps, having to concentrate for such a long time?
It's not too bad because we've done a couple of these 90-minute odd races for a few seasons now, so once you get used to them, they're alright. You sort of get into a rhythm and then just plough along. But here it was, I don't know what it is about here, but it was a bit harder just to concentrate, really.
A couple of people on the chat were saying about, you know, Bathurst's going to come round fairly soon, and that's going to be even more difficult, I think.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a monster.
Well, unlucky for today's results, Trevor. I'm sure after a week's break, which I think we've got now, you'll bounce back for the next round, and we'll look forward to seeing how you do.
Yep, I should be back.
Right, thanks, buddy.
All right, Trevor.
Cheers.
Thank
Catch you then.
Cheers, mate.
Right, let's drag up Tobias Cherney now. Good afternoon, Tobias.
Hello guys.
Well,
Hello.
mate, you had a pretty eventful race. It looked at one point as if you might be on to win that as well. Tell us a little bit about your day. I mean, qualifying not so good, but race pace certainly seemed to improve throughout that race. So, yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, as you said, qualification was really bad. I think I got only one valid lap, and this was now the last one. Yeah, my start was good. I was able to get a few positions. There was a situation with Trevor behind me at the third chicane, I think, where I think one of the race-on guys braked a little bit too hard, too late or something, and I was glad that I could my car get it stopped. And Trevor unfortunately had to avoid it and go into the gravel there. By the end of this lap, I was up to 5th. I was pretty happy with this, looking forward, but then I don't know exactly in what lap, but it must be 2 or lap 3, 4. I got a very, very bad cut penalty, cut track penalty. And I was slowing down, and got passed by several cars and didn't get it solved. And then I found myself behind Philip Johansson again, and fortunately it's the same problems like last week. It was very difficult to follow him, and I was afraid to try a move because I saw his car sliding around because of the connection. Somehow, somewhere, I made the move, and then I had the leaders were 10-15 seconds gone, and I switched strategies. So I went into fuel saving mode and tried to gain the time in the pit stops.
Right.
Yeah, but it didn't work out, unfortunately.
But at one point you got very close. I mean, you got within 2 seconds, and then you got caught behind Craig Jones, didn't you?
Yeah, this was, I don't know, he was third chicane again, and he was on the left, went wide, and he was on the left after he rejoined the track, and my usual line is on the right outside, so I was going on the right, and suddenly he moved into the middle. I wasn't sure what to do, and then he moved over to the right, and instead that I move over and maybe hit David there, I braked, and David passed me, but this wasn't the problem. I knew that I couldn't hold David there, since I was very, very short on fuel. I had to I was the last 20-30 laps, I would say, I was driving with 3 liters per lap.
Yeah, we saw actually with a few laps to go, it looked like perhaps you definitely went into ultra fuel save mode.
Yeah, I did it in the last then, because then I saw, because of this situation with Craig Jones, I think myself and David were not able, otherwise we would have been before Sanjay coming out of the pits, and then I maybe could have tried to make my car as wide as possible and hold on the second place. But I see Sanjay was through, and David was battling with Sanjay there, and I was behind. I knew I couldn't close the gap, so I was fuel saving as much as I could, because it was a very risky strategy, and for some of the laps I really had to go below the 3 liters to get it worked again.
It just seemed like all the way through the race, Tobias, you had bad luck with back markers, and
yeah, there were a few situations.
You were because you were at the back of the train. It looked like you were the last one to be seen and the last one to be thought of. So you seemed to lose a lot of time there, didn't you?
Yeah. But I think if the qualification would have been better, and I would have started more in the front, there would have been this need to fuel save, and I would have gone faster in the race, since I could have been more aggressive there. But I'm glad with third place, and that David took the win. Pretty happy about this. Gained points on both of the guys who are in front of the championship. So it wasn't a win, but it was a good day for us as a team, and and I enjoyed the race, although it was sometimes a little bit unfortunately for me, but the result is okay.
Well done again for the podium, mate. A break next week, I believe, and then we'll be back. Then we'll be back. Before I let you go and enjoy that week off, just anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to all of my teammates, and I actually don't know where they are, where they have been today. So I was missing a few people there. But I think they had a good reason for it, and I hope that they will be there next race at Road Atlanta, I think it is, in 2 weeks. And we're looking for a good team performance again, as this was I think so far the best team performance for us. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well done to everybody at Lenovo, actually, and we hope to see more of your teammates there at the next race. Thanks, Tobias. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks for broadcasting. See you later. Bye.
Right, Tobias Cherney there, Lenovo
Very
Racing.
Very unlucky day for him, really. In every respect, but like he says, if qualifying, it just shows, doesn't it? It's a 55-lap race, but it was his qualifying that let him down and that affected the whole of his race.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. Right,
You wouldn't think qualifying would be as important, would you?
No, not with a sort of endurance race like that. Let's grab our last interviewee up.
Yeah.
There's Brenton O'Brien. Brenton, we haven't spoken to you for a little while up here, mate.
Well, actually, I'll go further than that, Alex. I'll say it's actually my first time I've been interviewed.
Oh, is it really?
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
Normally the quiet, shy time.
Well, tell us a little bit about your race today. 13th place. Happy with that as a start?
Well, considering I'm generally a back runner, but let's face it, the fastest lap's about 4 seconds a lap slower than the fastest guys. But you know, endurance racing to me is just slow and steady, staying out of trouble, and just knocking over lap after lap with a consistent pace. And today it paid off. 13th, I'm really happy. That's the highest position I had all race. Very happy with that.
Yeah, we've interviewed some of the front runners as well, and say, you know, a lot of people say they've had some problems with traffic and things like that. How difficult is it for you, finishing 2 laps down, having to let everybody through, knowing where everybody is, knowing who you're racing and who you're not?
Well, you know who's going to come up with that, who's going to, but let's face it, these alien quick guys, and the speed difference through the corners, like you're on the straights, you think to yourself, okay, well this corner I won't need to let them through, but the next time, so you're pre-planning. But then they just come at you with such a rush, and yeah, there's times it's a bit intimidating, and you feel just so obliged to get out their way that you end up driving off the track yourself. But you know, the fast guys, they know where we're at. They know who the good guys are, and the medium and the slower guys are, and you know, it comes down to experience for all of us.
Just because obviously you had a little break from the league, but you're back in full time now, are you?
Yes, yeah, back in full time. I was out of the league for it was a good 6-7 months. My youngest 8-year-old son decided my computer would be best having a drink of orange juice. And
Oh, that's it.
yeah, it was a bit of rum, he might have been alright, but no, he just absolutely come home from work and he said, "What's this on the floor?" It's orange juice that decided to go in the computer. So I didn't have a computer for ages. A few other things happened with my mum and dad. Live about 4,000 kilometres away, so that was a priority, and getting a new computer was very much on the back burner, but as soon as everything settled down, I'm up and away again.
Well, it's nice to see that,
Good to hear, yeah.
that you're back, and obviously still with Kimmy's Rural Fencing. And yeah, we were commenting on actually that a few weeks ago that it's good to see that team sort of growing and expanding and slowly moving forward, and yourself being part of that now. You know, 13th place is great for those guys, and it's good to see them week in, week out, just slowly stepping forward. You know, they seem to Will Dodd not featuring today, unfortunately. Well, 11th, so but usually a little bit higher up. But it's nice to see some different faces from KRF getting in and amongst the top 15.
Yeah, it is, and you've got to remember that Will started from the pit lane. He probably had as great a concern as everybody about slowdowns on the first lap and people punting into people. And to be fair, you know, everybody was pretty good about it. A couple of little incidents, and I was probably involved with one of those. But
And he had an accident on the first lap as well, didn't he? So
I did not know. Yeah.
so he did quite well to finish where he did.
Yeah, he did. And Will was only practicing late this afternoon Australian time, and him and I were swapping setups, and his setup's always better than mine. But yeah, we punched out probably 15-20 laps, and that was our practice. So yeah, we just haven't had the time this week to do it. By saying that, yeah, 11th result from where he was with an incident, it's a good result again for him.
How did you enjoy the track then? Is it a track you've driven much before? Are you an F1 fan? Do you have much experience of this track?
Well, back in the day when PlayStation F1 was a good game, yeah, I was with ARL with God, I can't remember his name now, but anyway, Division 5, I can't remember, with F1. Loved it, absolutely loved it. Good track. This is a completely different animal with the V8s. There's just no grip, and the chicanes in the corners are the big thing. On the F1, you can just slide through, no drums at all. but these you've really got to work to get it around, and braking so much earlier.
Yeah,
Was it you that was Os? Were you Os 26? Were you?
That is me. I was 26.
Ah, there we go. I remember now.
Yes, Oz 26 does have a name.
Well, congrats again, mate, on 13th place. Let's hope Road Atlanta is going to be equally as good for you. And let's see maybe if we can get a top 10 next time.
Oh, little steps. 13th is good now, and we'll see how we go. But no, thank you for your time, guys. Good job.
Thanks, Brendan. See you in a couple of weeks, mate.
Thanks for coming to join us. Cheers.
See ya.
Right, last but not
Just
least.
shows Alex, doesn't it? When he's been in the league for a long time, we've never spoken to him on the chat before.
Yeah,
so
no, no. So, Corey Preston's just joined us. Corey, not a great race from you today. You were sort of running in the top 5, I think, at one point, 4th maybe, but you seem to drop back. What happened? We missed it on camera today.
Circuit Gilles Villeneuve happened.
Oh dear.
No, I don't know what happened. Yeah, I was running top 4, and then I surfed through the grass at the first chicane, and that gave me a slowdown penalty. And every stint I seemed to do, the tyres just kept wearing out about lap 10. So luckily I scraped the wall and got a meatball flag on lap 10. So then I had to pit, and then yeah, it was just game over from there.
Yeah, we
What
saw.
did you find?
Sorry, go on, Woody.
Oh, sorry, no, go on.
I was just saying, we saw a lot of people really struggling with, the walls and the chicanes. A lot of slowdown penalties and whatnot today. A bit of a feature of the track. Obviously, we've drove it in the F1 car. I mean, what's your opinion on the slowdown penalties? Is it right that we should be getting it so close to just skimming over those curbs sometimes, or do you think it should be a little bit more relaxed?
Well, I think it very much depends on the car. Like for the F1, for example, I think you shouldn't be anywhere near those curves, because if you do in the F1 car, you'll break the suspension and front wings and whatnot. But for the V8s, you just got to be able to use them curbs. Like you just can't use them in the V8, and that's what slows you down.
Yeah, so this is basically you're just getting your wheel on the opposite side of the white curves, yeah, the sausage curve one, isn't it? And that's what's causing it.
The last chicane's not actually too bad. You can really fly the car up on 2 wheels without getting any form of penalty. But it's just the first chicane, the second chicane, the third chicane. It's just awful. You just can't use any of the curve without getting penalised.
That may be something just to for us to feed back to iRacing, just to give an extra like half a foot or something like that.
It's difficult
Might make
though, isn't
all
it?
the
Because
difference.
then everybody will try to use the extra half foot, and then
Well.
it'll become, and then they'll say, well, I'm only this far away, so it'll be 1 foot, and then 2. It's very tough, because you've got to strike a good balance between common sense in giving out penalties and the track limits, haven't you? So very difficult.
Yeah, I was struggling midway through the stints. I was starting to struggle with rear brake locking, and then I think just before I just gave up, I had a bit of a moment at the last chicane, locked the rear brakes, and surfed across the first curb, which sent me flying across the second and straight into the tyre wall, and then that was basically my race over. I just thought, I'm going to park it.
Well, we've got a week's break, and then we're Road Atlanta. I mean, how's the Race on Oz team looking for that one? I mean, you guys have featured very strongly this season so far, and how's that track normally suit you guys?
Well, I haven't raced there for a couple of seasons. I think the last race I did there was season 2. No, season 1 this year, I think. Yeah, and I don't actually mind it. It does produce some very good racing, and with the more realistic, softer setups, we shouldn't be bouncing off the curbs and having the car go everywhere on us. So hopefully that'll be a plus.
Well, thanks for your time, Corey. Anyway, I know you had a bad race today, but at least you get a week off to recharge and be able to attack the next race. So, are there any shout-outs you want to give before you go?
No, I'm an angry driver. I'm storming out of the interview room. Just before I do, just before I do go though. Yeah, just before I do storm out. Will there be any sudden calendar changes if, say, Bathurst were to be released before the end of the season?
I would assume so.
Yeah, I mean, we don't moderate the league, only just commentate on it. But I would assume
Mr. Noble's down there, though. Should we get him?
Yeah, we will ask. I'll tell you what, we'll ask that question when we bring him up in a second. But yeah, I would imagine that if it's released before the last race of the season, it would even replace the very last race. I think I think it has to be put in there.
Yeah, just don't make it an endurance race, otherwise I won't be racing. I don't like endurance races anymore, not after Montreal.
Yeah, quite a mix-up from what we had just a week ago at Phillip Island with the 2 sprint races, that's for sure. Right, thanks Corey.
Anyway, thank you. I'm storming out of here now. See you later.
See you, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Alright, let's bring up the main man, Mr. Mark Noble, team league coordinator. Hi Mark, how you doing, mate?
Mark.
Let's turn him up so we can hear him.
Right, mate. You've had some shocking luck the last few weeks, and it seemed to continue today. What? Take us through what happened.
You're not going to believe this. I lost my setup, so I had to use wheels. That was the first time I'd run it.
Oh yeah, never gonna happen that. Just a couple of minutes before switching sets.
No. So once I got in the groove, it wasn't too bad. I was down to low 42, so that was pretty. The race thing to get bringing your setup wasn't too bad, I suppose. But I think it was the second lap or something. Me and Brooksy had a bit of a tussle there down the back straight. But I'll back off, and I was on the inside, and I hit the inside curve, and it picked me up too high, and when she come down, she just done what she wanted to do, and the poor wheels behind me.
Yeah, unfortunately, we did see that. A couple of moments on that final chicane, but you're not the only one. There was a few people that certainly that corner got the better of them today. But I just wanted to basically just point out we've been discussing it with a few guys, a few of your teammates and stuff like that. But KRF just slowly working their way up through the grid, and Brenton, good race today, 13th. Will again 11th. So seem to be featuring a lot more in these races each week now. I just wondered how you guys were doing in the official series as well.
Actually, not going. Oh, I've had a pretty bad season with that with the computer, but the other boys are going very, very well. I'm really happy for them. Even Nigel's going really good in Division 6, so the boys are going really good this season. And we've got Jonesy back as well too, so looking pretty good.
Oh, well, that'd be good to see him back as well. Give Will some run for his money for #1 driver.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't believe the other night I give him my setup for this track, and my best time I think was a 41.1. He goes out first night back in iRacing and does a 40, below 40. You're kidding me.
I was just going to say, a question that was just asked of us by Corey and was on the chat at the end as well. If for whatever reason iRacing release Bathurst before the end of our season, would we perhaps consider swapping out a track for that?
Mate, it'll go straight in.
Yeah, well, there we go.
So it should as well.
We figured as much, but we thought we'd better ask one of the league administrators.
I'm not admin, mate. I just do the booklet.
Oh, you know what I mean.
No.
So, up next, obviously we've got the little break, but then we're over to Road Atlanta, as we've asked everybody. You know, are we looking forward to that? What's the target for that race for yourself?
I actually don't mind it. I'd love to get in the top 15, which I could have done a couple of weeks ago, but by mistakes. But anyway, yeah, no, I hope the top 15 for myself.
Oh, good. Well, you know, I wish you all the luck in getting that. I've no reason to think you can't get it. So, yeah, good luck in that one, and we'll see you there in a couple of weeks, mate.
Yeah.
Alright, boys, thanks for that.
Thanks for your time, Mark.
Before you go, Mark, anyone you want to give a quick shout out to?
Jimmy's Rule, of course. Coastal Kitchenware, Lifo Gardens, ARL and ARLTV, great sponsors this season, so thanks very much for that.
Alright, mate. See you in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah, we'll do. See you, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Right then, that will just about wrap us up for the day. Just want to run through our sponsors as well. So ApexRacingLeague.com. You know, thanks for those guys for putting this on. You know, if you're interested in the league, not just iRacing, just go check them out. They do lots of different stuff over there. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Twitter. Usually we do check Twitter throughout the race, although I was a bit tardy today with all the problems that we had going on. And follow us on Facebook as well. It's worth pointing out, actually, the website's just had a bit of an update, although we did include a live timing screen this race. Technical faults with the web server stopped us from actually being able to run it, which is just rather typical.
It's a shame.
But yeah, so there's a few new things going on there. Obviously, new sponsor, Leo Bodnar, as well. So there's a new Leo Bodnar section on there. There's a little review coming up very, very shortly. We just need to record the voiceovers for that, which I believe we're doing next week. Hint, hint, Woody.
Yes. I'm not going to be here next week on Saturdays, but
well, we'll do it during the week. We'll get some time
to do something. Yes.
But yeah, there's a little bit of teaser footage on there as moment as well. And also just to point out as well that the Leo Bodnar have kindly sponsored the ARLTV World Championship team as well. So a little break away from the Apex Racing UK. We're announcing it now, but myself, Lee Thompson, and Lasse Brun Hansen from Denmark formed a 3-man race team that will be taking part hopefully in this this season's Pro Series coming up in October. So certainly me and Lasse are confirmed in. Lee Thompson, obviously another commentator here, mainly doing the F1 stuff that you guys will have heard, is looking pretty good. You know, touch a bit of wood, that he gets a couple more good results and should lock his pro license in. So yeah, if you fancy following us guys, then just jump on there. But yeah, so a little bit of a different adventure for ARLTV as well. So
yeah, it's all looking up for Apex Racing UK as a team. All the best luck in the Pro Series as well. That's still a few weeks away, isn't it? But
yeah. Let's not forget Pagnian Imports as well, main sponsor of this league. They're giving away a fantastic prize in their like supreme rig that they do. So that thing is a beast. I know Mark Noble desperately wanted to set it back up and use it all season, but certainly wouldn't be able to give it away after that. But yeah, so thanks for those guys. Not just rigs, but they import everything in, so take care of all the hassles that you normally get with getting the stuff over from Europe or America. And as Mark mentioned earlier, Kimmy's Royal Fencing, big shout out and thanks to him for sponsoring the league and organising it and setting it all up as well. Steve McPherson, Jonesy's back soon as well, another one of the league guys. So yeah, the people mainly behind getting everybody into this great championship. Woody,
yes.
Fantastic race again. You know, we had, well, fight for the lead pretty much through 99% of that race. Couldn't call who was going to win it all the way through. Controversy at the end with Lee Day.
Yeah, it was a great race. I mean, I'm a bit annoyed I missed the main incident of the race, and obviously we haven't heard from Lee Day. Hopefully we'll get his view on that next week, well, in 2 weeks' time. But yeah, to have such a close battle for the lead throughout was great to watch, and hopefully onto the second half of the season, well, the second part of the season, we will have some great action.
Yeah, thank you for everybody tuning in. We're going to have a little bit of a break, but we'll be back. Road Atlanta, 2 weeks' time. Tune in. 11 o'clock our time. What's that? 10 o'clock GMT. I have no idea what it is all around the rest of the world, I'm afraid, but it's the same time as usual. Thanks again, everybody tuning in. See you in 2 weeks' time.